I've made a video about reconnecting with God as a father and not having that disconnect there, which the world creates, or so many, most of us have a disconnect with God at some point, and it's really important that we reconnect with him. However, what I haven't mentioned in this video is a couple of things I'll just mention now, which is first off, I had the experience that I had, and it was amazing, and I knew immediately, I knew him again. But the healing on the physical, it takes a little while to happen. Things that have taken 30 or 40 or 50 years to form don't change overnight. My relationship with God as a father did, but I here took a little bit longer to catch up. You know, I had so much to sort out. I still have. But, you know, everything did change that night. And I've taken a while to catch up, and I'll carry on catching up for the rest of my life, no doubt. And the other thing was, I wanted to say, for people who don't know him, or don't believe, or aren't sure, who know there's something out there, but don't know what they believe, I would suggest to ask, you know, ask him to come to you, ask him to help you. Give him an entry point as a father. Speak to Jesus. Whoever, if you can resonate with God as a father better, do what I did. If you can resonate with Jesus, then go for it, you know. I need to resonate with God first and then get close to Jesus, because that was the way that I needed to do things. Everyone's different. So, yeah, you know. Sorry, I get really distracted when that starts beeping. So watch my video. If it helps, that I think it will help. That's why I've made it. So watch the video and feel free to comment. Okay, bye. Ways that people get spiritually abused, because it's rife. They want everybody disconnected from our Father, our Creator. They want us all disconnected from God, and they want everybody to have an adverse reaction to the name of Jesus and to Jesus. And those who have got Jesus in their lives, they want to have it in a really confused way, like with the New Age typey things. But anyhow, my point is, one of my oldest friends asked me how I could suggest being happy without mentioning Jesus. So anyhow, initially I did give him some answers, because you can heal and be happy to a point without Jesus. You know, of course you can. People can be. But I was thinking about it, and the more I thought about it, it's only I think it was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday when he asked me. It's Sunday now. And I was thinking about it last night, and I thought, I can't answer that question, because you can't truly heal or truly be happy without a relationship with Jesus and reconnecting with God as a father. Anyhow, I didn't get back to him yet with the rest of the answer, and then he just messaged me again and said that he wants to reconnect. He wants to know how to know God. Well, this has already come up once today with a different friend, and I was thinking, should I try and make a video on this topic? Anyhow, I wasn't sure, but now I am, because he wants to hear, and so I thought, well, I'll combine it and make a video for YouTube. So the way that I reconnected with God, I think I was about 32, 33, I don't know. Yeah, it was about 2009, I think. And it was after a year of so much trauma. I mean, sorry, after all my 20s was just so traumatic. Most of my life was. It's just that it was you know, it wasn't just, it was a mix. There was really high times and really low times. It was all mixed together. So in one day you could go from heavenly heights to hell. And that is kind of how my life's always been. Definitely until I started healing more. And even now it's still kind of a bit all over the place, because so much happens to try and keep me distracted or whatever. But you know, the older I've got and the more healed I've got, the more constant and the less control mechs I've got going on in my life. I've pretty much managed to I think I've pretty much managed, this is the freest I've ever been anyhow. and not like working at the racing yard and not having like a lot of like people with a lot of like hidden power over me and that kind of thing. But anyhow, I don't want to digress. The point is, at 32, 33-ish, I think I was 32, I felt really disconnected. I believed in God still. I didn't ever question that, but I didn't feel close to him. I felt as though I was like clinging on by a thread, literally, to anything with God. I didn't feel like I knew him. I just felt like I know he's there, and I know he's saved my life a million times over, but I don't feel like I'm good enough. I felt like I wasn't good enough, and I didn't know how to be good enough because I felt like just really bad, you know. Anyhow, what I did was, instead of thinking of him as God, this like being which was out of touch and like up there kind of thing, and me down here, I spent a few days like thinking of him as my father, and in my head speaking to him as my father. And honestly now, I can't remember how many days it was for, but it wasn't that many. I think it might have been 3 days, roughly. I'm not, like I say, I can't remember the exact number of days now. But after, like I say, we'll say a few days for argument's sake, I went to sleep, and that night, it felt like a dream, but it wasn't. It was real, and I knew it was real. The funny thing is, it took me a while to properly decode this dream, because it sounds really cheesy, I know it does, but it wasn't at all. And especially because I didn't really fully understand it at the time. I knew I was in God, if that makes any sense. And it felt like I was above my bed. And I want to say that I wasn't in water. It was like a fluid, but it was all God. It was like consciousness, but it wasn't water, and it wasn't like air. It was God. It sounds like a little bit crazy, but it wasn't remotely scary or remotely crazy. It was like I was in, I don't want to say a cloud because it gives like bad connotations, but it felt like I was in a bubble that was literally made of God, and it was everywhere, around me, within me. It was just like amazing, and I knew I was with my like father, and I knew it was God, and I was at peace, and it was just really, really amazing, you know. And then now I look back and I think it was like being reborn, you know. It was like being reborn. It was like that night I got healed on a spiritual level in ways which don't always make sense when you try and explain them, but spiritually I had some really deep healing. Now I have gradually caught up with that, but things here don't change overnight. Since that day, everything's got so much clearer and my life's got so much better. But that is how I reconnected with God. I thought of him as my father. I didn't think of him as God the untouchable. I was talking to him and calling him Dad. That's literally how much I had to break it down. Now, it might not work for everyone doing it like that. I didn't have a father in my life, really. I mean, obviously know who my dad is and stuff, but I didn't have him in my life. So I didn't really have like anything bad to draw on by that point in time but I'd never called anyone Dad or Daddy, not like that I could ever remember doing. So to call God Dad worked for me because, you know, he is our father, and I really did need to reconnect, and I didn't know how else to do it, and it worked because as soon as he hears you, because he's with us all the time, you know, he knows like everything, doesn't he? As soon as he like knows the time's right, he's waiting to scoop us back up and give us all this love and give us the feeling of connection. But you know, he can't do that unless we ask, and unless it's like, you know, unless he's got a way to us. We don't feel it unless we're ready and like not feeling all like guilty and shameful and feeling bad. So that's how I reconnected with God. And obviously, like after that, I was like, you know, reconnecting with Christ as a brother. That's how I do things. If I felt guilt or shame or any of those horrible feelings, which actually we are kind of like created to feel, like as if that's good. I mean, I'm not saying it's good to feel that way, but you know, it feels more normal to most people to feel bad than it does to feel good, because that's how the world creates us to be now. It's global. They don't want people to feel good, because if you feel good and have Jesus, you're going to heal and get better. So anyhow, I'm going to have to call it a day at that, because it's getting, well, I'm still on the 15-minute YouTube thing. So thank you for watching. And you know, I'm being quite quiet recently because I've been feeling quite quiet and thinking quite a lot. You know, I don't speak that much unless I feel inclined to. Okay, so thanks for watching. I just wanted to add a little bit to the video. Well, first off, I think I never really spoke that out loud before, I don't think. Not since the time it happened. I keep knocking the table, it's annoying. So I feel like it's a little bit rushed, the video I made, and also I was trying to battle against the light, although actually if I'd have waited until it had actually gone dark like it is now, the light's okay. It's just at dusk that it's really bad, the light. Need to be quick because I've only got 5 minutes. Yeah, I've not spoken that out loud for years because I don't really have anybody to speak it to, you know, basically. Yeah, anyhow, the long and short of it all is that I think that I said in it something about feeling bad and stressed or guilty or something. You know, obviously, like, the reason why we need God is to heal from feelings like that. Feeling those feelings won't stop the reconnection with God. It's just that you need to, like, let him into your heart and have the want and need there, I think, to be able to hear him properly and feel him. Obviously, I had a really profound reconnection in the end, you know. And when I said in it a few days, I don't mean I was, like, literally thinking about it the whole entire time, but I was probably spending about, I don't know, I couldn't give you, like, what percentage of the day that I was thinking about it. I was definitely thinking about this on a morning when I woke up, on an evening, and definitely through the day as well, but not constantly. You know, I wasn't like I wasn't in meditation or anything like that. You know, I don't do that kind of stuff. I never have, but I do have a lot of quiet time, and I do spend a lot of time in my head chatting, and so that's what I was doing. I was like reconditioning my thought process so that I could feel close to him as a father and not feel like so removed and distant. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else to add. I don't think so. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that I just wanted to emphasize that point. If there's anything else, I'll just make an extra little segment. Thanks for watching and take care. Bye.